Okay. I'm hating this, but I'm doing it for you, Brandon. This is my WalkAway story. I have been a lifelong moderate Democrat. The earliest I can remember were the Kennedy years. I remember so vividly. I loved JFK. He was so charming and so handsome to me, and I was like totally in love. And Jackie, oh my God, she was my idol. I can remember sending her a birthday card to the White House and getting one back from her. And my God, I cherished that for years until it was damaged in a flood. It was horrible, horrible. I was devastated when he was assassinated. Those are my earliest years. I think I've always thought of the Democratic Party as a party of tolerance, of love, of, really for the little guy. And I never really questioned a lot of the things that went on. I voted for President Clinton, but I remember when the Monica Lewinsky scandal was exposed, his arrogance and his lies and the ultimate perjury charges that he went through. And the entire party kind of rallied around him. They didn't care. And Hillary, the epitome of women's rights activist, the ultimate feminist, she stood up and just bashed all the women that her husband had abused, and I thought to myself at the time, what a hypocrite. What an absolute hypocrite she was. So I think at that point, she was never, again, one of my favorite people. Through the years, I pretty much stuck to party lines. There was a couple times, or maybe once, that I shifted to the Republican ticket, but primarily I was always on the Democratic ticket. When Obama ran for office, I was mesmerized. I thought this man was polished. He spoke well. He dressed well. He carried himself, so well. And he had a message. It was a message that was sorely needed, because our country needed help. I think that we were going down the wrong path. But he had a message, yes, we can, we can do this. And I really had high hopes. So during his first term, there wasn't really much accomplished. So I voted for him a second term. But it was shortly after that his true colors started to really come out for me. He promoted one of the most divisive, racist terms that I have seen in my lifetime. I mean, the divisiveness was uncanny. The riots and instead of helping, for what was being protested, it's like he kept them on display, for everybody to get upset about. He never made any effort or any attempt to improve the situation. He turned his back on our military, almost destroyed it. He turned his back on our law enforcement, these people that go out and protect us, put their lives on the line every day. His agenda was never for our country. It's like everything that he did was tearing us down. I think he'll go down in history as the most divisive, destructive president that we've ever had. When Hillary ran for president, I felt sick. I could feel myself cringe. I did not like this woman. Her corruption to me was unprecedented. I saw her become more transparent through Obama's administration, her deflection lies and total unaccountability for Benghazi. When her email scandal was exposed, with all the evidence collected, she was never charged with anything. And I thought to myself, she is part of the deep state. She is part of the problem, and never held to the standards that we all would have been. I am real suspicious of that Clinton machine and the corruption, how corrupt and dangerous it is in my eyes. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't like Trump. I thought he was crass. I thought he was vulgar. He reminded me of the kid from the street. But you know what? He had a message, and he wasn't a politician. He wasn't in anybody's pocket, and nobody was in his pocket. So why was he doing it? He had enough money, he had a good life. There was no reason for him to go through all of this, except that I really truly believe that he loved this country, that he wanted to see changes, that he wanted to see us more successful. After the election, I think everybody was surprised that he won. It was when the lies and the hatred and the demonstrations and the violence, all of this started. I was like mortified. I have never in my lifetime seen anything like this. I mean, how many times has the president been elected we don't like, but you don't go out in the streets and beat somebody down for expressing an opinion that doesn't agree with yours. The lies and the hypocrisy and the media spins, they'd take a piece here, a piece there, and put together these stories. They all sounded like parrots. With all the demonstrations and the violence and Antifa, oh my God, these masked group that would go out and beat people down in the streets for, I just still can't believe that all this is going on in our country. I mean, that is true fascism, bare grassroots fascism, what they're doing. And it's all fine. It's all fine. According to the Democrats, all justified. It's like, oh my God, what a bunch of hypocrites. Maxine Waters is like the most hateful woman I have ever seen, and she's tied to an even worse Lou Farrakhan. I mean, come on. And she's out promoting her confrontation and harassment. This isn't going to end well. I'm totally like, I'm just still, I'm in shock. I am in shock that all of this is allowed, number one. And number two, where is everybody? Why isn't there anybody standing up against this? It's like the Republican side is just everybody's quiet, everybody's trying to be polite, blah, blah, blah. It's not okay. This is not okay. This is a direct attack on our free speech. It's intimidation and suppression of free speech. The violence and the hatred, it's like a cancer. I'm just, it's kind of scary to me. I have never seen things this out of control. I believe that the left is desperate at this point, and that they will do anything that they can to stop our president, that they'll do anything that they can in their power to get rid of him. He's not one of the good old boys. He's not in anybody's pocket, and he wants to drain the swamp. And you know what? They will do anything to keep him from exposing all of this corruption and the deep state. I look at the investigations into the DOJ and the FBI, and it's like, I have to laugh. None of this would ever have been exposed if Hillary had been elected. I'm sick. It's not even an ideology that I can even relate to anymore. I'm tired. I'm afraid for our president. I pray for his safety, because there's nothing, this is so insane that there's really nothing that's going to stop them from getting rid of him, I hope, that this movement will help. Love does trump hate. So for the lawlessness, this rabid hatred, the violence, the suppression and eradication of free speech, the attempt to dismantle our Constitution and our rights as citizens of this country. For all of these reasons, I am walking away. I can't do it. I don't even recognize my party anymore. This is not who I am. It's not what I believe in. It's not what I stand for anymore. It just makes me sick that this fulminating, poisonous ideology is infiltrating every part of our society now. So to the left radical liberal insanity, you've left me in your toxic dust. I'm an American first, and I love my country. So I'm walking away.